Been up for an hour, got the bus, and now I'm on my way to Newcastle. You know it's early when you're literally the only person on the train. Hi everybody, an hour late but finally arrived into Newcastle station and on my way to the co-designing maternal mental health peer support services guideline review. Let's do this! Evening everybody, it's 9 PM on Friday the 21st of September and this marks the end of a 15-hour day. Yeah, you heard right, 15 hours. Today I travelled up to Newcastle to work with lots and lots of women and some men on an event co-designing principles for perinatal peer support, and that was funded and organised by, well, collaboration of people. It was funded by Comic Relief and it also had input from the Mind charity and the Maternal Mental Health Alliance and the PIM Foundation. So they were all the organisations that put it together, but there was people there from like all sort of services. It was an open event so anybody could attend, so myself and Laura from Vicious Cycles and Hannah from Cycle Mummy or Mummy Cycles, we all went down to wear our PMDD hats and talk about peer support and PMDD in new mums, and we think that's really important because obviously PMDD or PME or premenstrual disorders in general can be triggered or worsened by a reproductive event, and one of those such reproductive events could be birth or stopping breastfeeding, so really important in our, as we see it. I got there and, well, no, first of all I signed up and it all seems like nice when you're signing up, all airy fairy, yeah, I'm going to go and do this, and then I was on the train this morning and I thought, oh my god, what am I doing? Like, I was really lucky in that they funded my tickets, and then it was like, oh god, I panicked. I thought, I don't have anything to add to this, like, what am I doing? I don't need to be here. And I just really started to undervalue myself, but I thought, no, it's fine. Just, you know, I've got a wealth of experience in mental health. I've got a wealth of experience in peer support. I know my stuff about PMDD and premenstrual disorders, and so I thought, you know, just go with it. Just go with the flow. See what they say. Sorry, I'm thinking my hair about because I look a mess. So I got there and it was all okay. My train was like an hour delayed, but it was fine. I got there on time, and the event started. And oh my goodness, I started talking and I thought, all of a sudden my eating disorder hat, my First Steps hat, I had to start wearing it. So I rang up First Steps and I said, like, I'm at this event and like there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I could say about First Steps and about eating disorders and peer support and what we're doing. Can I put both hats on, as it were, metaphorically speaking? So I started talking about First Steps and eating disorders as well. And that opened up a lot of discussion, like, in the sense that people were just talking about, well, not just talking, but their main focus in perinatal mental health was postnatal depression and postpartum psychosis. People were saying, like, we didn't even know about PMDD and we would have never have considered eating disorders. Whereas for me, those two things, because I've got lived experience of them and worked in them for so long, the well, eating disorders especially, like I've worked in raising awareness for eating disorders for so long that to me that's just second nature, and I don't even consider that people wouldn't think about that. And that just goes to show, like, we can become so in our own little circle of our own conditions that we can actually almost forget that not everybody is working in those fields and not everybody has that lived experience of these things. And sometimes, we need to have an increased awareness of other people's specialities and what other people are working on in mental health, because obviously from an eating disorders perspective and from a premenstrual conditions perspective, like, we have an awareness of psychosis and of depression and of anxiety, but if you're purely working in depression or postnatal depression, it perhaps is a lot harder to have that awareness of the other conditions because they're not perhaps brought to your forefront as much. Whereas because eating disorders and premenstrual disorders have a lot of coexisting or comorbid illnesses, like, we have to deal with a broader spectrum, but we only specialise in, say, eating disorders or premenstrual disorders. So it was a really, really good event. Like, it was amazing. So much discussion brought to the table. I actually felt like I actually had a lot to say on the topic, even though I'm not a mum myself. Like, I've supported so many people that are mums and had, just so much to say about different things. Like, for example, perinatal services only work up to when the baby's 12 months old. Well, actually, I think there's a lot of valid reasons why it needs to be over 12 months. Because if you've got a premenstrual condition, like, you're going to stop breastfeeding around like 9-12 months probably. You're going to go back to, maybe going back to work. There's a lot of change that goes on in that, like, 1 year to 2 year window, and we're not supporting mums in that time. Well, we are supporting them, but not as a true perinatal service. They just go under general mental health then. That doesn't seem right to me. Anyway, I could talk all day about the topic, but I've just got back. I'm actually exhausted to the point that I feel sick, and a 15-hour day, so I need to go to bed. I really need to go to bed. So night, everybody. Bye.